Hey everyone, what is up? It's Zima here, bringing you something a little different today. You know, I always like to switch it up whenever I get a new game because I do own a lot of games. And you know, whenever I get a new game, I like to just kind of do one or two commentaries on it. You know, it's not really a permanent thing, but it's just something I want to do to switch it up because I like doing that. The other day I went out to my game store and I bought Crysis 2 on a whim. I was like, you know, Crysis 2 looks pretty good. Crysis 1, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my computer really wasn't up for it, so I figured I'd get it for the Xbox 360 and try it out. And I really, really have enjoyed it, even though I am a little late to the party, and this commentary is it's a little old. You know. But basically, I beat the campaign, and in a few days, I beat it on the hardest difficulty. I jumped into the hardest, and it was really a lot of fun. I was really impressed with it. I mean, it was lengthy. It wasn't really that challenging, but it was a lot of fun. You had like a lot of options. You can go stealth, or you can just go in guns blazing. So you know, I like to do a mix of both. I like to go kind of stealthy, and then kind of guns blazing kind of attitude with this. Got some BA kind of like moves and stuff like that, assassinations, huge air stomps. It's a great game. I really enjoyed it a lot, but the main thing I want to talk about is the multiplayer because obviously that's what you're watching on your screen right now. Some free-for-all multiplayer on a map. I'm not quite sure. It might be called Lighthouse or something like that. I'm sorry. I'm not too adept with the multiplayer aspect of the game yet, I would like to add. But the multiplayer, when I jumped in, it is way better than I expected. Usually kind of these titles that you're not used to, like you expect the worst with the multiplayer because you're pampered with these awesome FPS games that have great smooth mechanics like Call of Duty 4 and Halo. So you know, you're used to these awesome games with smooth mechanics, so a new player to the game is kind of like it's kind of uneasy. You're like, I don't know if I should try this out, but it was way better than I expected, and I was really pleasantly surprised with how awesome it is. Now, in this gameplay, for those of you unfamiliar, I'll break it down a little bit. I'm using a gun called the Feline, which is an SMG type gun. It has a silencer, a reflex sight on it, and an extended mag. So that's the gun I'm using. And basically, you have three perks that you can use. You have a stealth perk, a power perk, and a armor ability, an armor perk, which is kind of the three general perk categories, and those are the three powers that you have. You have camo, you have armor mode, and you have power. But basically, my energy transfer is my one ability, and what that does is every time I kill someone, it transfers the energy that they had left in their bar into my bar every time I kill them. And then the second one I have is Stealth Enhanced, which is when I go invisible, there's no shadow, because usually when you go into invisibility, there's a shadow behind you, which is how people see you, but I don't have that with this Stealth Enhanced perk, which is a great thing, I think. And then last one for the power perk, I have an Aim Enhanced, which is a lower recoil when I'm looking down the sight. Definitely helps me out with this SMG because the Feline has a lot of kick to it. Really helps keep that down. Now, the structure of this is you get to create your own class and you have these perks. So it's a lot like Call of Duty 4 you might be thinking, and that is very true. The Crysis experience is a lot like Call of Duty 4, but I actually think that when I look at the game more and more, it's actually the game is kind of like a best of both worlds kind of things. It brings in all these different elements from every kind of FPS title out there, and it really puts them together, and it really actually works very well. I was actually kind of surprised when I thought about it, but basically, I think that the game it plays a lot like Battlefield and Call of Duty mixed together. It definitely, the character models and the kind of the killings and the amount of health that you have, it's very Battlefield-esque. It feels a lot like Battlefield, and it kind of like the small arena style, the arcade style kind of. It's kind of like a mix between the arcade style of Call of Duty and the big open maps of Battlefield. It puts that together into this kind of play style. Now, obviously, the structure is kind of like Call of Duty 4. You have these classes that you get to make yourself, and you get to choose your own weapons, and there are kill streaks which are very similar to Call of Duty 4. You have basically a UAV, which is a maximum radar. Then I have like a radar jammer on this map. I believe though it is a kind of like a mortar strike, an airstrike kind of thing, much like Call of Duty. And then the last one is on this map, particularly it's a gunship, which is kind of a Ceph gunship, but it can also be a maximum nano suit, which basically makes you like really buffed up, really powerful. and really hard to kill. So the perks are, I mean, the what's the word I'm looking for? The kill streaks. That is it. The kill streaks are different from map to map, and you don't get to choose your own kill streaks. And I do like that a lot more because Crytek has balanced out the kill streaks really well, because certain kill streaks work better with certain maps, and they figured that out and really saved the kind of frustration, the overbalancing. So that's a great thing, I think, with the structures, kind of like Call of Duty. And the design of the game, the kind of the influence of the game, I think a lot of it is kind of like influenced from Halo, and with the armor like abilities, the cloak, the stuff like that, the armor, it's really kind of like Halo, and then it has a little bit of Call of Duty in it once again. And then the maps really remind me of Gears of War for some reason. I really don't know why, but the map design just reminds me completely of Gears of War and what Epic likes to do with their maps. So Crytek, really, the maps look a lot like Gears of War kind of style and stuff like that, which is a great thing because Gears of War has some awesome maps. I think a lot of the Gears of War maps are really creative. They're really fun. They're really gritty, which is a lot kind of like the Crysis maps are pretty gritty. So, you know, the Crysis maps, the Crysis 2 is definitely, it, to me at least, it takes all these different elements from all these different shooter titles, and it kind of combines them together. And that's a really, it's again, I keep saying it, it's an awesome thing. And this game definitely is something that you should check out if you're really kind of bored with what you got right now. You really just want to kind of play a game. Just pick up Crysis 2. I mean, just try it out a little bit, borrow it from a friend if you know someone who has it. It's just a good time for, like, if you're kind of bored with what you got. It's a good vacation. It's a good break, like an in-between game while you're waiting for a game to come out. Just you pick up some Crysis 2, you play a little bit. It's great. I enjoyed it a lot. Now, as far as the game types go, obviously right now I am playing a free-for-all game type. Just everyone's my enemy. That's my favorite. I do love free-for-all, as well in Halo and Call of Duty. Free-for-all has always been my favorite, and definitely my favorite in Crysis because there's a lot of kills to go around. It's really hectic and crazy. That's why I like it the most. But for those of you who want the more classic stuff, you got the team deathmatch, you got the objective games like Capture the Flag, and they have a strange variation on Search and Destroy, which I'm not sure I like, but I'm not sure I dislike it. It's really hard to explain. But also, then there's the King of Hill game type. So there's kind of they have the classic game types too, all the kind of classic games types. So everything you're looking for. As far as tactics go, you always kind of want to keep your cloak on. Like what you see I'm doing in this commentary, you never see me kind of run around without my cloak on, because it's really easy to get shot down because everyone's using their cloak, and someone who's not in their cloak walking around regular, you're just going to get shot down right away because everyone's looking for that guy not in their cloak. So you pretty much have to use your cloak. It's kind of like your lifeline. And when you see that I have no energy in my bar, which I need to power my cloak, you'll just see me kind of like hide in like a corner or hide behind some kind of wall until I get my energy back and I'm ready to go again with the shooting and the killing and all that great stuff. But basically, the reason I like the energy transfer is because once I kill someone, I can immediately go back into invisibility if I am low on my energy. So that's basically why I use that perk the most, because it's kind of cheap, I would have to say, because it really makes the game a lot easier for me. Now, when you're also using the cloak, whenever I see an enemy and I have the cloak on and I'm charging him and he doesn't see me yet, I always, instead of going out of my cloak, I switch into armor mode. Because when I switch into armor mode, instead of just switching to normal, I have more health. Or rather, I don't have more health, but I have more shields, more protection. Because then the energy in my energy bar becomes my shields. So it becomes less likely to get turned on and get killed. So it really beefs up my chances of winning a fight whenever I use the armor instead of just switching to normal. So definitely those are my tactics I like to use. That's how I win this gameplay, which is a clutch free-for-all. I win 25-24, with a clutch airstrike to bring it in for the win. I was really desperate with this airstrike. But anyway, guys, Crysis 2, I would definitely check out if you guys are interested and if you're looking into something. I don't know, I probably won't be doing any more Crysis 2 commentaries. I just wanted to give you guys kind of my thoughts on it, what I think about it. You know, I like to, like I said earlier, I like to switch it up, get commentaries on games that I don't normally do, just to tell you guys my thoughts on them. it's not a regular thing. I'm definitely still going to be doing all my other commentaries. Not really into the Crysis 2 multiplayer that much, but it definitely is a great thing, and it's definitely something that you guys should definitely check out. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this commentary, please like it, give me a thumbs up over there. If you're not subscribed to me already, subscribe to me. That would make you the coolest person in the entire world, guaranteed. Also, drop by a comment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.